Yo, what's happening, people? Wagwan. Alright, so today I want to talk about an angel that I met recently. And shout out to Mel. I'm not going to say the full name just in case she doesn't want me to, but shout out to Mel. So yeah, I met an angel recently. I met an angel by the name of Mel recently, a few days back, and I want to talk about that. And before anybody gets offended, when I say angel, I mean that metaphorically speaking, not in the literal sense. That being said, I don't know, maybe she was an actual angel. I guess I'll never really know. But here's what I'm talking about. So many years ago now, maybe, I don't know, 5 years ago, whatever it was, doesn't really matter. I watched a video by a gentleman called Elliot Hulse, who I believe is a fitness coach, fitness coach and a life coach. I think I might be wrong on that. But anyway, he put out a video where he's talking about the three types of people that come into your life at various points. And they are the crystal balls, the mirrors, and the angels. And I won't go into the full details of what he said because, you should watch the video and I'll put a link to it. But just briefly for now, the crystal balls are people who show you what your future could possibly be like. You might see something in them that says, if I continue along this path, this is how I'm going to end up. It could be something good, it could be something bad, but effectively they show you what you can become if you continue on a particular path, and that is a crystal ball, a glimpse into your possible future. Then you have the mirrors. Now the mirrors reflect something about yourself. You see in people what we see in ourselves. So if you're looking at somebody and you're thinking, oh man, that guy's an arsehole, that guy's a this, that and the other, there's a good chance it's because that is something you see in yourself. There's something about a person that you see in yourself, and that is reflected in them to you. As an example, you ever hear a father say something to his daughter, something on the lines of, "Oh, I know what boys their age are like. They're all the same." Most likely, it's something within himself that he sees in others, and they are the mirrors. It doesn't always have to be something bad, by the way, but those are the mirrors. And then there are the angels, and that's what I want to talk about today. The angels. Now, I've met a few angels in my time, and Mel being the latest one. So an angel is somebody who comes into your life and they would impart, maybe some kind of wisdom, or, maybe they say something that inspires you or galvanizes you into something. Perhaps it's something that you were thinking of already, but it's something that they did or said that really pushes you into doing it and changes your life, or potentially change your life, or at least parts of your life anyway. That is an angel. And so what happened the other day is, as I'm driving this cab, I pick up a passenger who gets in, and she says, amongst saying hello and that's the whole thing. Then just get into it right away. But after saying hello and that whole thing, one of the first things she said was, "Oh, you have a really cool voice for I think she said radio or podcast." I mean, we talked about podcasts eventually, but I think she might have said radio to begin. Anyway, she complimented my voice, and at the risk of sounding a little bit arrogant, it's not the first time somebody's complimented my voice or mentioned that I should do something with it. And indeed, I've thought myself that I would like to do, voice acting and, do like cartoons and video games and that sort of thing. It's something that I've thought of and even looked into it, and didn't really get too far because you need an agent, and I couldn't get an agent. But yeah, it's something that's been on my mind before, but clearly haven't done much with it. And we're talking, and she suggested that at some point I should do a podcast that centers around stories. Actually, let me back up a little bit, because first we're talking about apparently there's this really popular children's song, And I got, you know, Google Music, so I looked it up and we listened to this song like Baby Shark, and then it kind of occurred that, you know, we're with a couple of grown-ups in a car listening to children's music. And I mentioned it's not the weirdest thing that's happened in my cab. You know, plenty of much weirder things than that's happened. And then we're talking about some of the other weird stuff that's happened, and she just suggested then that I should do a podcast talking about some of the stories that's happened, you know, whilst driving a cab. And that really kicked off some ideas in my head, because, like I said, I thought about, you know, doing stuff with my voice. Some of you might know that I did actually do a podcast some years back that it's always been on my mind to bring back in some form. And you know, that still could happen. I don't know how or when, but that's something that I still would like to do. I'm still thinking about how I'm going to do it. I would say if I do a podcast again, it's probably not going to be related to Uber driving. I think if I do a podcast, I'd want it to be related to okay, this guy's a bit too overzealous. Want it to be related to things like video games, movies, wrestling, you know, all three of those. That's what I'd like to do. But the idea of talking about stories that's happened whilst driving, that really resonates with me, because I think that's a really good idea. So I would like to do something like that, and starting off with the one who inspires that idea. Shout out to Mel. So yeah, I think that's something that I'd want to do more of. Now, yeah, I'm already doing, you know, the videos where, you know, I exaggerate some of this. Like, you know, I do the Uber driving from the ends. Started off as Uber driving from the hood. I did change it recently to Uber driving from the ends. I felt end sounds a bit more accurate to the character that I'm trying to build. When I started it, by the way, I wasn't really thinking, oh yeah, it's going to be a character. It just kind of turned out that way. I made one video, then I made a few other videos, and I kind of realized afterwards that they're kind of linked, not just in the fact that they're based on stuff that happened whilst driving, but just in the character that I'm portraying in those videos. They're all kind of linked. So it just kind of occurred to me that, yeah, this can be something that I do more of, you know, these exaggerated stories with humorous intent. So yeah, look out for more of those. And as I try to develop that character, Uber driver from the ends, he doesn't actually have a name, by the way. He's just Uber driver from the ends right now. I think most of my characters don't have names. Maybe a few do, but most of them don't. So I might give him a name eventually, but for now he's just Uber driver from the ends. Yeah, those look up some more videos. But whilst doing those, yeah, I think it'd be cool to talk about some of the things that's happened, where I just tell the story of what's happened and what I think of it and that sort of thing. And I would say that I'm probably going to be, you know, changing names and maybe certain details to protect the innocent. I think it's unlikely that anybody's story who I talk about is going to know that I'm talking about them. They probably don't even watch my videos, I'm sure. But just in case, you know, just in case, I ain't trying to get nobody in trouble. That ain't what I'm about. So I'm probably going to change some names, change a few details, that sort of thing. But yeah, look out for some stories on the channel about some of the things that I've seen and experienced. And yeah, starting with Mel the Angel. I'm going to talk about some of the angels that have come in my life, come into my life actually, because I think it's an interesting thing. And I think at some point, you know, you as in you watching this has been an angel to somebody. Maybe you've been a crystal ball or a mirror. You wouldn't really know which one unless they tell you. Or I'm sure you've had people who fit into those categories for your life as well. But an angel I do find particularly interesting, because in most cases, yeah, they're not going to know that they're doing it. You know, they're not going to know that what they said inspired this idea or galvanized you into doing something. You know, they're not even trying to in most cases to. They're just, you know, being themselves. They're not necessarily trying to get anything out of you or get you to do anything, or they're just saying it to be saying it, or saying it because they think it's the right thing to say in that moment, and not necessarily because they're trying to be this angel to you. It's just who they are. And you know, so yeah, most cases they won't know that that's what's happening. And a lot of times, especially with the angel, there may be a person that probably isn't going to be in your life for very long. There might be somebody you've known for a while. It's possible for somebody to be all three of these things at various points. But the angel, I think, in a lot of times is going to be somebody that you meet, briefly once, maybe twice, but you meet them briefly. You don't know them for very long, and then you may never see them again. You might, but you may not. And I remember one angel that I met back when I was doing a lot more. Well, back when I started doing poetry, I entered a poetry contest, a poetry slam, and I didn't win this particular slam. And this person I was talking to, he just said to me something that really stuck with me. He said, "The best poets never win." And I know it sounds like, no, of course you're going to say that because you just tried because you lost, didn't it? But that really resonates with me. The best poets never win. And I think the reason why it resonated with me is because when you think about it, like if you are writing, and I think especially with poetry where it is very personal and very, unique to yourself. I think anytime you write anything, whether it's a poem or a song or anything, from a point that is uniquely you, probably many people won't. Very many people who are going to be like, "Oh man, that's awesome," because they might not always understand it. So when you're doing that, you put it. I'm not saying don't put it out to work because no one's going to get it. I mean, you should still put it out. I feel you should still put it out because you never know, really, and you never know how things can help people in ways that you don't really intend. But in terms of everybody getting it and everybody thinking it's awesome and everybody thinking, "Oh yeah, give this guy 10 out of 10 points," why would they? When you really think about it, because they probably didn't get it. Not because you're super deep, just because it's just, well, you might be super deep, but just because it is just something that's so unique to you, or right from that place that is so unique to you. If you want to win a slam, right, that's something that everybody understands, really. That's something that stuck with me. The best poets never win. And I guess that applies to a lot of different art forms as well. When you look at competitions, the best ones don't always win. In fact, when you look at what's those competitions, those singing contests that they used to do, was it The Voice or I don't really. Ooh, I was a bit too overzealous there. I don't think it was The Voice, but shows like that where they have these competitions where you win like a record signed deal or whatever, right? There used to be one years ago, usually loads of years ago. I remember like the people who would win, they'll get their record deal and they'll be around for a while, and then you never really hear about it again. But it was usually the guy that finished, like came second or third or something like that, that really went on to have like a long career out of it. So the best don't always win. So that's something that stuck with me. Another thing that stuck with me, another angel that I met some years ago, also during poetry. And this is something that stuck with me throughout a lot of different things throughout my life, where we're talking about being nervous. And he said to me, "The day you stop getting nervous is the day you quit." That really stuck with me, because I think that is really, really true. Because the thing about nerves, I think when a lot of people think about being nervous, it's a lot of like, nervous is bad because you just all over the place, and that's part of it. But I think ultimately what happens is that when you're doing something that makes you nervous, when you keep doing it, you eventually learn how to control your nerves or how to deal with your nerves, but you don't really stop getting nervous. You handle it better, certainly. Maybe it doesn't show as much, certainly, but you don't really stop getting that feeling of, right before your name is called, or right when your name is called, to go on stage or to deliver the thing that you're about to do. If it doesn't make you nervous, then probably not even worth doing. So that really stuck with me. The day you stop getting nervous is the day you quit, because I think that means that either you're not really pushing yourself anymore, or you're doing something that maybe you don't really care so much about, doesn't really matter so much to you. Whether it goes one way or the other, it's not that big a deal. It's like, whatever, and if that's the case, then you need to find something that you do care about, that is going to get that feeling going for you, you know, that is going to, you know, get you to just making sure I don't hit anything, because you don't want to hit anything. Yeah, but it is going to, you know, get you to feel that, get you to feel like, man, this matters, you know. That's the type of feeling that, you know, I feel like that's life, you know. That's when you, that's part of, a big part of knowing that you're doing something, that this is important, or at the very least is important to you. So yeah, the day you stop getting nervous is the day you quit. The best poets never win. And shout out to Mel for I'm looking for a place that's supposed to be here and I don't see it. I don't see it. So let me pull over somewhere and check my GPS. Shout out to Mel for being my newest angel to get me into talking about these things, and look out for more stories to come. But yeah, for now, let me pull in here, check where I'm supposed to be going, and go there. But yeah, that's all for now, guys. If you like this video, give it a like and share it amongst your friends. If you did not like it, then give it a dislike and share it amongst your enemies. Could check out more videos, follow me around the web. All links in the description. But that is all for now. So thank you for watching, and until whenever, if ever, peace out, y'all.